Hi there, and welcome to this video where we talk about Photoshop and buying Photoshop or the different versions of Photoshop, what they cost. So the first thing let's look at is the different versions. And Photoshop started a long time ago. Let's see, they have the year up here. Yeah, 1988. A couple of these guys wrote the first version. And the version numbers since then, they show you over here on my Wikipedia, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and around version 7, for some reason, they decided to change the numbering, and they called it, rather than calling it version 8, they call it CS for Creative Suite. So there was a Photoshop CS and a Photoshop CS2, CS3, and what we're on now, the version we're on now is version CS 5.5. So they put out a new version, lately it's been every between 12 and 18 months they'll put out a new version. So it's really nice to have the newest one. It's got the most features. But a lot of times if you get a version that's a year or two old, if you can find it, a lot of times you can find them used on the internet, you're going to get almost all the features. So they add a few new things, but again, if you want to get the latest and greatest, you should. But the problem with buying Photoshop, if you're going to buy it, is it's expensive. So let's just look at, these are retail prices, and we'll look at academic prices in a minute. But if you want to buy Photoshop Extended, they're going to charge you $1,000. Here's the price. Or just Photoshop by itself, they're going to charge you $700 retail to buy this. So there's two things that you can do if you want to buy Photoshop. Number one is buy it in one of these bundles. So you notice right here, like just Photoshop Extended, it's $1,000, and Illustrator's another $600. There's $1,600 for just Photoshop and Illustrator. But if you buy this bundle, the Design Premium, you get these two plus InDesign, plus Acrobat, plus Flash, plus Dreamweaver, plus Fireworks. You get all these things for $18.99. And again, that's a lot of money. But if you're a business, if you're a graphics design shop, it's just part of the cost of doing business. So again, you notice all the Adobe software is pretty expensive. So the other thing you can do is buy it as get an academic license for this. Since you're a student, you can get this. But with the academic license, there's two restrictions. One, you can't resell it. So next year or in another year and a half, when CS6 comes out, you're not going to be able to take your version and sell it on eBay. eBay flags these, and you're also not going to be able to upgrade it. So a lot of times they'll give you an upgrade price, which is much cheaper than the buying new price. The other thing we can do is get the academic version of the bundle. And this is what I suggest you're going to, if you think you want to buy it, this is what I do. So personally, if I was buying this right now, I'd either get Design Premium, which you notice has all these packages. If you click on this, it'll tell you the details. But it's got Photoshop and Illustrator and Flash. If you're doing the multimedia degree here at CBC, these are the products you're going to need. And it's $450. And actually, the CBC bookstore, you go over there and talk to them. They can get it for you even cheaper than this. Or the other one I would personally right now, the one I would get is Production Premium, because it also has Premiere, which does video editing. So it has some video editing things, and it's missing a few things. But Fireworks, other stuff that this has, I don't really care about. It's things I'm not going to use. But it definitely has Photoshop, has Flash, has Illustrator. Things that you're going to need for the multimedia program, plus it does some great video editing. So this is another way to get Photoshop relatively cheap. You notice it's $450 for this entire bundle, this Production Premium bundle, which retails for $1,700. And again, if you get it through the CBC bookstore, you can usually get it a little cheaper than this even. But again, it's the academic version, so no upgrades and no resale. Then the other thing you can do is buy something called Photoshop Elements. So I know 450 is a lot of money for software, but you can get Elements, which does almost everything that Photoshop does. But this is really the home user version of Photoshop. So you notice this has a bundle of Elements plus Premiere. So Premiere is the video editing, and this is just Elements. If you look at just Elements, here it is for $66, which is a little more reasonable. Or here's another one for $56 for just Elements. So that's quite a bit more reasonable. And I think if you go to eBay, things like that, you can get it even cheaper than this. So Elements, you could use it for this class. for my classes. You might not be able to use it for some of the art classes, but again, if you're buying your own, this is a cheaper way to go. So what I would, again, personally do is either buy this bundle or buy Elements, or maybe get on the internet and look and see, because we're at versions 5.5, which just came out. I think I've seen where a lot of people are trying to dump the 5 versions, CS5, even the production premium for like $200, something like that. And that will have everything that we're going to do in it. The 5.5 just has a couple new features, and we might not even, in fact, we probably won't even get to those new features. Okay, so that's buying Photoshop. Hopefully this helps you out.